which was transparent and which, when we stretched it, we could use to make lenses rather than looking for mechanical behaviour. And he noticed that actually our materials had this very unusual and peculiar property of getting thicker when we stretched them rather than thinner.
So what are the kind of applications to which this might be put to use? I'm thinking shock absorbers.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you can imagine that when you have a material that does this, what happens when there is an impact is instead of the material just getting thinner in response to that impact, it pushes back. And so impact resistance, shock absorbance, all of these things are properties that we're hoping will actually then be developed into applications. So the company LC Uxatec is considering using these materials on things like wind turbines to prevent some of the erosion that goes on there. Also in glazing, there are many different possible applications. This is really a platform technology that we're hoping to commercialise.
So what are going to be the big challenges going forward now? I would presume one of them is manufacturing this material in a cost-effective way.
Yeah, exactly. So, of course, in the lab, we've developed several of these materials that have this property. We've got a really good understanding of the design rules for them. And so the next steps that will be taken are scale up. So we need to make the materials on a bigger scale than we can do in the lab. So there's going to be work in that direction. And also tuning and optimizing for the different applications, because we're very clear that each application will need subtly different properties from our materials. And we're in a good position now, since we've got a very good understanding of the design rules, to actually begin to do that.
Without asking you to give away too many of your trade secrets, is it quite a complicated process making this material?
It's not actually. So, when we've made our first materials, we bought the units, the monomers that were going to make up the plastic, the polymer material. We could buy those commercially. My background is in liquid crystals, and so the way in which we make the film is very analogous to how you would make a liquid crystal display device, and that's how we get some of the really good uniformity that's important to the properties. So we make a mold, we put the materials in, we make sure that the materials have good uniformity, good alignment, and then we polymerize using UV light. So it's a relatively simple process, and it should be completely scalable.
You make it sound very simple anyway. I'm sure it's not. How quickly do you think this can be commercialised profitably?
Oh, that's a really good question. And, I think that's... we're hoping that within a very short time, a few years, we'll be able to have materials that... So I'm thinking, 2, 3, 4 years, we'll have materials that are ready to be tested on a large scale in some of the applications that we're hoping for. So we're talking about several years, I expect.
And what do you think about the whole Northern Gritstone concept? I mean, it is tremendously exciting that universities are going to be able to commercialise their IP, isn't it? I mean, the Americans have been brilliant at it. Us in the UK a bit less so.
Yeah, it's a fantastic opportunity, and I think we should be very proud that they've chosen to actually base themselves up in the north with those core universities. There's a huge amount going on up here in the north of England, and sometimes it's overshadowed by the Golden Triangle, and so it's fantastic that they've seen that both the quality and the quantity are hugely competitive in terms of research and commercializable research that's going on up here. And it's great to have their confidence. And yeah, we're really proud and excited to be their first investment in Leeds.
Great stuff. Professor Gleeson, it's really good to talk to you this morning. Thanks very much indeed for sparing the time. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Thanks. Bye.
Our regular viewers will recall that on Tuesday's programme, I was speaking with Archie Norman, the chairman of Marks and Spencer, about the campaign he's supporting to enhance shareholder democracy. But we also talked about one or two other topics. Mr Norman was a vocal critic of the UK's post-Brexit trading arrangements with Northern Ireland, and so I was keen to hear from him whether the recent agreement with the EU on the matter had satisfied him.
Well, it's a massive improvement. Your listeners will know that prior to the recent agreement, we are incurring a lot of cost in transporting fresh food into Northern Ireland, and we're still incurring a huge cost in getting our wagons into the Republic of Ireland because of the EU customs union. So the threat we had was that the same restrictions, or similar to those that applied for the customs union to France and Ireland, would apply to Northern Ireland, and that's been completely removed now. And the solution there are issues with the solution, but it's in the fine detail. But the solution that's now proposed means that probably we can pretty much get our sandwiches and our ready meals to Northern Ireland at roughly the same cost as before. It'd be slightly higher, but roughly the cost. So we're very pleased with that. Lots of issues remain, and the issues remain are fundamentally about exporting into the EU, which is unnecessarily vexatious. And incidentally, our own rules about EU exports into the UK have yet to be resolved. At the moment, we're light touch, but that may change. So there's a lot of work to go. But no, we were very pleased, and I have to say, I talked to the Prime Minister, who's good enough to talk to me, probably because I've made a fuss about it, and his grasp of the detail and the personal effort he put into getting this right was tremendous.
And more broadly, what are your observations on consumer confidence right now? When we last spoke, I got the sense that you were quite cautious about the outlook. Have you been pleasantly surprised at the resilience of consumer spending?
Relieved, probably. We all saw. Remember, it was only last October, I think that's right, maybe in September, when the governor of the Bank of England said that we were going into the longest recession for a century. 6 quarters of recession. So all the macroeconomists have been confounded by events, because actually consumer spending has, I was going to say it's borne up. I mean, it's not been strong, but it hasn't fallen into the abyss. So yes, we've been relieved by that. I think most retailers have. We're watching it every day. It's quite difficult to see what's really happening, because the inflation disguises, your sales might be up 5% in value terms, but if there's 10% food inflation, your volume sales were only down by 5%. But we have been relieved with the consumers being much more resilient, and a lot of people are now trying to understand what's really happened. I think it's pretty clear that households had a lot more savings built up after the pandemic, and some of them are living off those savings. I think a lot of people have extended their earnings. They're working slightly longer hours. They're finding other ways of getting a little bit of extra income to see them through. I think the working from home thing has meant that some people, mostly white collar people, are not commuting to work quite as much and saving that money. And I think that the downturn was so widely heralded, I mean, it was all over the media, that everybody had a chance to tighten their belts a little bit ahead of time. So overall, we'd be wrong to feel ecstatic about this. We're looking at a long period of very, very slow growth, if any, in consumer spending, but it's a darn sight better than it might have been.
Norman, the chairman of Marks and Spencer, always worth listening to him. Lots of valuable insights there. Just a bit of breaking news to bring you from the courts that we've had during the last few moments. Connor Chapman, who is aged 23, has pleaded not guilty at Liverpool Crown Court to the murder of Elle Edwards, who was 26 years old. She is a beautician who was shot dead in a pub in Wirral, Merseyside on Christmas Eve. More on that story throughout the morning here on Sky News. Still to come here on Ian King Live. We're going to have a look at how global markets are going into the long Easter weekend. Don't go away.
Why did you decide to speak out? Because this is dangerous for you. It's so hard to get people to speak. The authorities are trying to shut everything and everyone down. And how deep-rooted that fear is. You don't see these kinds of scenes on Russian state TV.
Это был год, который многое расставил по местам.
I'm Adam Parsons. I'm Sky's Europe correspondent based here in Brussels. More flares going off, a volley of rocks, cobbles have been pulled up out and are being used as missiles to hurl at these police. We take you to the heart of stories that shape our world. We aim to be the best and most trusted place for news. We have now left Italy and entered France. Nobody's asked to check our identity. Made by people who dare to challenge. Nice to see you again, Mr. Barnier. Why? Meeting you. Fishing does have the potential to stymie an enormous economic deal. What strikes you when you come to this glacier is not just the way in which the environment is changing, but the speed at which those changes are happening.
It's devastating, actually.
Well, the oil price fell yesterday for the first time since Sunday night's surprise production cut by the OPEC Plus grouping. It is still on course, though, to finish the week sharply higher. A barrel of Brent crude currently changing hands at $84.60 a barrel. That's down a little under 0.5% on the session. On the equity markets, there was mixed trading overnight in the Asia-Pacific region. Reverses in Tokyo and Sydney, although Hong Kong returned from a public holiday to post a modest gain. Shanghai was unchanged. Mumbai, which isn't on the screen, well, that finished higher after the Reserve Bank of India unexpectedly declined to raise interest rates. The market was looking for another quarter-point hike there in India. In Europe, stocks are going into the weekend on a positive note. Here's the current picture. All of the main continental European indices in positive territory right now. Talking points this morning include SAS. The Scandinavian airline is off by just over 1.5% in Stockholm, and that is on confirmation that it's preparing a sale of new shares. We're here in London. The FTSE 100 is also in positive territory right now. The FTSE currently 32 points to the good, up 0.2% in a broad-based rally. Leading gainers include the gaming group Entain. Recall this time yesterday we were telling you about an acquisition that it had announced. There aren't too many features for investors to hang their hats on this morning, and as ever at this time of the year on a Thursday, a number of stocks have adjusted lower to reflect the fact that they've gone ex-dividend. In other words, they're trading for the first time without the rights to the latest payouts. The batch this morning in the FTSE 100 includes Barratt Developments, Reckitt Benckiser and Smiths Group, all of those adjusting lower because they've gone ex-div. Outside the FTSE, the Ukrainian miner Ferexpo is up some 5%. That is on a production report. Meanwhile, on the foreign exchange markets, it's actually pretty quiet ahead of some US jobs data. We get this lunchtime. Sterling unchanged against both the US dollar and the euro. The single currency off by just over 0.1% against the greenback. With me this morning is Edward Smith from Rathbone Investment Management. Edward, great to see you this morning. Oil price I found very interesting. We've had this OPEC production hike. We got a bit of a spike higher on Monday. The price has been range bound since then. What's going on?
Well, good morning, Ian. We find that at times when the business cycle is transitioning, that often oil demand actually dominates anything that's going on with the supply of oil in terms of prices. So we think that we will transition to a Western recession by the end of this year, and we don't think Chinese consumption is going to bounce back enough to offset that. And we're actually already seeing Chinese consumers reticent to engage in long-distance travel, for example, which is part of the oil price. So we think that will tamp down on oil prices for the year, but there are, of course, risks from supply. Geopolitical risk is more elevated this year than it has been for some time. There's the Ukraine, of course, but we're also perhaps closer to an Iran-Israeli war than we have been for a long time. And a spat between Iraq and Turkey is taking out 400,000 barrels of oil a day at the moment. So there are risks, but we think that demand factor will dominate.
Interesting, though, that Shell actually upped their supply in the first quarter of the year, certainly for LNG.
Yeah, it was a decent update from Shell today, in line with expectations, as you say, a better than expected outlook for liquefying natural gas. We think that will be part of a longer running theme as LNG becomes a bigger part of the energy mix as we transition to a lower carbon world.
Now, we've had the Purchasing Managers Index survey data coming out over the last few days. What's your takeaway? I mean, the services number for the UK was quite encouraging yesterday, I thought.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a pattern around the world in these surveys that the manufacturing confidence is down in the dumps, actually consistent with a manufacturing recession. Services holding up a little better. Again, at these turning points in the cycle, that's often the order of things, particularly if recessions are responding to a very sharp increase in interest rate rises. Manufacturing tends to be a little more sensitive to that, reacts a little earlier. So it may just be that the service sector is just taking a little longer for those interest rate rises to feed through into real activity. And unfortunately, looking at some of the longer leading indicators, because these confidence surveys tell us where we're heading over 3 to 6 months. If we look at indicators that suggest where we're going from 9 to 12 months, like the growth in the inflation adjusted money supply, so essentially how much money people have available readily to spend, or changes in bank lending conditions, bank lending standards, they're signaling by the end of the year we're going to have sharp contractions in loan, business investments, and probably a mild recession.
You've depressed me now. We started the programme on such a positive note, talking about consumer confidence as well. I mean, the theme for the second half of the year really feels as though it's just continually going to be dominated by interest rate speculation. I mean, we had that speech earlier in the week from Hugh Pill, the Bank of England's chief economist, clearly looking at least one more rate rise from the bank.
Yeah, we expect, that's our base case, one more rate rise. We think the Bank of England is actually a little more dovish, a little likely to stop earlier than the European Central Bank or the Federal Reserve in the States, for example. But the end of the rate tightening cycle doesn't necessarily mean that either the economy or financial markets are going to breathe a huge sigh of relief and go off into sort of growth again, because the sharpest interest rate rises for 40 years globally that we've seen over the last 12 months operates with about a 12-month lag.
Edward, I'm afraid we've got to leave it there. There's lots more I wanted to ask you, but we're out of time, I'm afraid. Great to see you this morning. Thank you.
See you.
Still to come here on Ian King Live, as London aims to be the gaming capital of the world, I'll be speaking with the organiser of the London Games Festival. Don't go away.
It's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamb.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamb@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
What the appetite was there. The appetite is there, and fund managers started signing up to it. We even have the London Stock Exchange that signed up to the program and have been good supporters. It's got to the point, Ian, where there are so many sponsors that we've had to have a bench to say, thank you for your interest and your support. But as the program grows, then we'll need to get you actively involved, because there's no point in just having the sponsors giving a physical monetary contribution. We want them actively involved in the program. So whether they are mentoring our students, whether they are delivering diffusion skills, we want you involved in it. It's not just about the financial contribution, but it's the actual involvement that matters more.
Yeah. So Jenna, tell me about your involvement in it. I mean, how did you get to hear about it?
Well, they contacted the school directly. I go to Brampton Manor and East Ham, and so all of us were given an opportunity to apply, and we just had to put in a couple of our details. I think we had to write a short piece, maybe 500 words, explaining why we were interested in the program. For me personally, I'd love to go into finance, into that industry when I hopefully finish uni. And there isn't much information out there at school. We're not taught much about investment. And I study economics, but we don't know much about we don't learn much that practically applies to the real world of work. So for me, it was something I jumped at. I applied, and luckily, I got a place in my program.
So what sort of preconceptions did you have about the industry?
I think the main thing that was off-putting to me was the fact that I know it's mostly male-dominated, it's not many ethnic minorities, and for myself, coming from woman of colour, it's sort of daunting to walk into a place like that and have to sort of feel comfortable. But this program has really helped me to see that, no, I belong in rooms like that. I can make it to somewhere.
Absolutely. I mean, what's the teaching been like? What's the thing that you've gained most out of it?
Just basic knowledge about the industry, so how certain things work. I think what was really important and was really helpful to me was the soft skills that we learned as well. So in some weeks we had like workshops on maybe communication skills that would help us as we enter that world just to communicate better. Networking is key in this industry, so it was really good.
Absolutely. It is quite shameful, isn't it, what Jen has just said? You know, she's grown up in Newham, right on the doorstep of the city, and yet opportunities like that haven't traditionally presented themselves.
Well, it's the nature of the industry and how it works, but that doesn't mean to say it has to continue down that path, right? You have agents of change like Gavin, myself, there's others out there who are coming up with initiatives like this, and it's interesting. I was having a quick chat with Ed, who you just had on your show, and I said the appetite is there, the want is there, social mobility is massive, and what better way to do it through programs like this. The good news, Ian, is that we have the fund management industry, we have the investments and savings industry wanting to work to better the world going forward. So yes, this might have been the past, but where we are in the present and thinking ahead in the future, it's looking bright.
And I mean, it's so important as well, though, because people like Jenna are going to bring a fresh pair of eyes and fresh perspectives to investment management.
Oh yes, that's totally the case, right? I mean, when we sit in a room and make decisions as a board, you're not looking for all 10 people around the table to bring the same skill set, right? In the same way, for you to get that different skill set, you need different thought, different ethnicities, cognitive diversity in the room. That's what you need, and programs like this will bring it through.
So what would you say to someone who might be a bit nervous of going down this route, you know, because it is quite mathsy, you know, you've got to have a good head for figures?
Yeah, I'd say just working on your confidence is key. Imposter syndrome is something that affects so many people, especially a lot of people who come from minority backgrounds. And just knowing and believing that you are worthy and you deserve to be in those places, and maybe comparison as well, not comparing yourself to other people, but focusing on yourself and your journey would be really helpful.
All right, Janet, well, I hope in 5 years' time, if we're all still around, you'll be back on the programme talking us through the market. Jenna, Andrew, great to see you both. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, the London Games Festival is taking place this week, one of the biggest events in the video games calendar, and which is aimed at highlighting London's...
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer, and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Broadcasting live online. Turn it on. Turn it up.
Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Starr Radio. Don't go nowhere. UK, London. We they call them London for home. For here, we they call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
This on your smartphone.
Radio UK. Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it is Starr Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Welcome.
Love for you runs deep. All of you makes my heart beat. You make a doubt they fade. Jesus, and that's what makes you great. You hold the world in your hand.
In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Same for now, yesterday, and forevermore. And that's what makes you great. You are God. You will never change. You remain the same to the end. To the end. You are God.
Okay, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. We want to welcome you to the Thursday edition of the morning show. I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
The morning show with Archie.
Well, the Easter weekend is here. So this will be our last program for the weekend, and then we'll be back on Tuesday. But there will be other programs running. Yes, we'll be bringing you the Good Friday service. We'll be bringing you the Easter Sunday service, and we'll be bringing you a faith talk as well. And that aside, lots of music also coming your way from all corners. But wherever you are, once again, welcome to the program, and it is Starr Radio UK. Today is the 6th day of April, the year 2023, with the time now 10:44 from the House of London. Don't touch the dial. Keep your dial still logged on Star Radio UK. Let me say morning to Mr. Frank Davids, Mr. Lion Miko and my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Baby Bossman, good morning to you. And a special good morning also goes to the one and only Felix all the way in Aberdeen and Kojo D. Anthony Adedeji, massive good morning to you as well. Bishop Adesina, good morning. Ola Kunle. Moyiwa, good morning. And Sir Maxwell, I salute each and every one of you. Pastor Momo, happy Easter.
Holy, holy.
Okay, so this is how the program is going to be for you today. If you tune in for the first time to listen to us on the Star Radio UK morning show, the Thursday edition, this is how the program is going to go for you. So just stay tuned, don't touch the dial. I'm going to bring you the quote of the day, the weather forecast will follow suit, the travel update as well. We'll move on from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe, known as Global Trotting. Then we'll continue from there to look at updates from Nigeria. That then leads us to where we look at some of the other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world as well.
And that's what makes you great.
At 12 o'clock, the lines are open for you to add your voice to the discussions. The program continues from then until the curtains are brought down for the end of the program. So wherever you are, just get it. If you are sitting, buckle up. If you are standing, hold on to something. Get yourself a hot or cold drink or whichever is appropriate, and let's take this journey. Once again, welcome to the show. And let me say happy Easter to every one of you who's tuned in today to listen to us. Both in the Christendom, let me put it that way.
Great are you, Lord. Great is to be praised. Great are you, Lord.
When it comes to the quote for the day, it says success lies not only in what you repeatedly do, but in what you fail to do as well. So think about the things that you're failing to do. Make sure that you are doing them, and those that you have to do, make sure you go on to do them as well. And I can tell you that, well, success will come your way. We'll be smiling at you. Okay, let's move on straight to your travels this morning. Now on the underground, my apologies. My producer said you should have brought the weather forecast, not the travels. Yeah. Okay. Now, so for the travels this morning we'll see a cloudy start with spells of light rain clearing eastwards into the afternoon. Sunny breaks will develop, but there is also a chance of a few thundery showers in places. Now tonight will be mostly dry. There will be areas of low cloud with a few clear breaks too. The odd spot of light rain cannot be ruled out. It's going to be generally light winds as well. The temperature is going to be 14 degrees. The lowest is going to be 4 degrees. UV level, low pollution, low pollen, medium or moderate. Sunset 1942 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 0626 hours. Tomorrow is going to have a blanket sunny day here in London, and then Saturday a mixture of sunshine and cloud, and same on Sunday as well. Sunday's temperature will be 17 degrees and the lowest 9 degrees. So a bit milder than it's been of late. Alright then, so let's take a quick break and let me bring you the travel updates. 10:48 the time. Stay tuned, don't you go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the road. So keeping updated, I promise I'm on the Starr Radio travel update that comes to where every weekday from 10:40. So it's now 10:49, and what is your travels like this morning? Let me share with you what we have here. Okay, so on the underground this morning, I can tell you, Now, there are minor delays on the Jubilee line. That aside, all the others have got good service there. London Tramlink, DLR, London Overground, good service. Now, moving on to the major roads in London, I can tell you A12, A24, A4, Central London Red routes have got closures. Now, A1, A13, and A40 has got serious delays. If you can avoid them, do your best to avoid them. Now we move on to the river bus, where I can tell you shortly, once again, a good service there as well. And the landing cable car, good service there. But moving on straight to the final segment of the travel update. Now, those of you who would like to embark on a rail journey, I wanted to understand there is the Victoria train station is going to be shut for repair works, and Euston as well. So you cannot travel via those means. But if you can use other means, why not? Okay, Chiltern Railways has got minor delays, cross country minor delays, Great Western Railway minor delays, and Transport for Wales has got special service. That aside, all the others have got good service there. And that's why I said once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the roads.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Welcome back to the program. It is now time for Global Trotting. So wherever you are, don't touch the dial. Just continue to stay tuned and enjoy the Global Trotting journey that I'm going to be taking you through or to. Okay, so what are some of the stories making the rounds this morning here in the UK? What are some of the rounds, the stories making the rounds on the African continent and across the globe? That is Global Trotting. All right. Okay, for those of you who have heard that for the first time, that is what it all means there. Bringing you all the stories from archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar, and of course, if it's making the headlines, why not? We're gonna touch on it. All right then. So in Nigeria, yes, Daddy Audio Peter Obi, a chronic liar, can't sue for defamation. That's what Shawara is saying. He reckons that, well, he didn't say whatever things that have been captured on that audio, and therefore he's a chronic liar. Now, organ harvesting, Obasanjo writes UK court seeks clemency for Ekweremadu and the wife. The authorities here hearkened to Obasanjo for the release of the Ekweremedus. Okay, subsidy removal. Federal government to disburse $800 million World Bank Fund for palliatives. Okay, and Tech Fund Buhari approved disbursement of 320 billion naira to tertiary institutions. And Bono ICU, I'm here to infuse life, get it back on track, says the Bono governor-elect. I had a fabulous time in Nigeria, says outgoing British High Commissioner. And NNPC failed to account for 102 billion crude oil lifted. That's what the Senate is saying. And I look at such stories and I ask myself the question, how come? But I'll be bringing you more on that in a moment. We lost Kano due to selfish individuals. APC chairman is saying, and federal government declares Easter public holidays. For those of you in Nigeria, that's for some information for you. But across the globe, yes. Now, court forbids Aburi, 3 others as Labour Party national officials. A lot more going to be coming your way. And breaking, prominent plateau ruler kidnapped by gunmen. Well, as we saw on this platform, may Nigeria never happen to you. We're going to be telling you more on that front in a moment. But when it comes to other parts of the world as well, here in the UK, hundreds in Met Police will be kicked out. That's what Rowley is saying. The Met chief says 4 out of 5 investigations into officers accused of domestic abuse and sexual violence need to be reassessed. My goodness, there. And then Macron continuing counting on Xi to bring Russia to senses. Now, the French leader on a visit to China is hoping Mr. Xi can influence Russia to end its war in Ukraine. And Sturgeon is out of event as police search goes on. The former Scottish First Minister decision comes the day after her husband was questioned by police, but he's not being charged. This investigation is going to be going on. Sainsbury Defence, Mashi Vakpak means the store prints leaflets after complaints that its new eco-friendly parks turn the meat to mush. Ooh. And heavy cost of war for Russia's best of the best. Now, the decline of the elite 331st Regiment can be measured in loss to machinery and personnel. Those are the stories making the rounds there, and a lot more going to be coming your way. So don't you go away at all. It is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. In other parts of the world as well, Zimbabwe to criminalize foreign recruitment of health workers. That is quite an interesting one. They are going to be criminalizing it. So what if you apply or you go out and you can't come back to the country any longer? Meanwhile, you are not being able to cater for them. When they make noise, you clamp down on them. What do you think? We'll be talking more about that. Well, all African countries also go on to say that no, we are criminalizing foreign recruitment of health workers. Okay then. Now, South Africa's government revokes national state of disaster, and then I look forward to becoming a journalist after retirement. Kagame is saying he thinks it's an easy job. Anti-doping agency says medics helping Kenyan athletes to cheat. Some of the stories making the rounds there. And Sudan, political deal to restore democratic transition postponed again. And Zimbabwe voters intimidated on the phone, says NGO. Those are some of the stories making the rounds on the African continent. And then Ghana's approach to social protection and inclusion tokenistic. Kofi Asare says DVLA directs digital transport operators to halt collection of digital transport fees. Okay, why? The government deploys 1,000 special forces to Boko following deadly attack on immigration officers there. Who are causing that? Is it the ISWAP or Boko Haram or whatever what jihadist group that is lurking or working in the Sahel region that is doing that now? Well, so a deployment has been made, and we'll tell you more about all that in a moment. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, school feeding caterers are dying over debts. Association is saying, of course, if you're going to take a bank loan to be doing that business, and now you don't have the means to support, and then you are being chased by the banks, then what do? Aisha Wang's passport bear different names, dates of birth, GIS officer to court. Well, of course, if she can just get out and then change her destiny and come back in, that's what she seemed to be doing. But what do you think about all that? This is a lot more coming away from Starr Radio UK, and we're going to be bringing you more on that front. So stay tuned, don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, I'll go with me. One of my lost sweethearts, but she's here this morning. I'll be telling you more about her in a moment. But it is all coming away from Starr Radio UK. We're going to take a musical break, and once we come back, we're going to have a look in details of the stories making the rounds in Nigeria this morning. Yes, so let's enjoy his tune. Okay, from Imani Milele, he said the old rugged cross. Just ushering you into the Easter festivities. What about that? Enjoy this. I'll be with you.
It's a wonderful thing to trust in Jesus. He never lets any one of us down. Men let people down, but God can be trusted. And He's so faithful to let you down. His love can be trusted. His love can be trusted. decided to take the cross on Calvary so we can live. How we love you, Lord, and how we bless you for the cross. Can you bless the Lord for the cross? Can you bless him for the cross? Can you bless Jesus for the cross? Can you thank him for the cross? Thank him for the blood he shed on the cross. Oh, we thank you, Jesus.
On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Vedasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable and trustworthy. Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And you know, I told you that I've got myself my sweetheart who is here this morning, Alicia Hickson. You want to hear her voice? Let me do it.
This is Starr Radio UK.
That's her. Yes, and she's in the house as well. And it's nice seeing her. It's been quite a long time. I think next time we're not going to do that. Not long time again, we're not going to be doing that again, but it's nice to see her. But wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK, 13 minutes past the top of the hour at the time, and let's go to Nigeria for the updates from Nigeria. As I did say, Mr. Olaimi Koiki is not going to be live with us, so he's giving us all these news that is making the headlines in Nigeria this morning, and I'm going to touch on them briefly, and then we can move on from there. I did talk about Peter Obi, the LP, the Labour Party presidential candidates, audio that has gone viral, and some are calling him a liar. He says that, well, nothing good. We cannot talk about anything good from his leadership as what do you call him, a presidential candidate. But we're going to be talking more about all that in a moment. I'm going to bring you the details of that as well. And then we have the former president of Nigeria, in the person of Obasanjo, also appealing to the British authorities here to release the, what do you call him, Akuramedu and the wife. Okay, seeking some clemency for them due to that organ harvesting situation that has landed them in the prisons. But we'll be telling you more about what he intends or they intend doing there. Wherever you are, it is Starr Radio UK. So now let's crack on. Let's look at the first story that is making the rounds this morning. Now, so the first story. Yes, Daddy Audio, Peter Obi, a chronic liar, can sue for defamation. Really? Now, the presidential candidate of the African Action Congress, the AAC, and publisher of the Sahara Reporters, Omoyele Sowore, says that a threat by the Labour Party presidential flag bearer Peter Obi to a media house for defamation over a leaked audio conversation between him and Bishop David Oyedepo will not hold water. According to Sowore, Obi is a chronic liar who was only grandstanding with his denial of the audio and the threat to sue the media house. The former Anambra State governor had on Wednesday threatened to sue the media outfit People's Gazette over a leaked phone conversation between him and David Oyedepo, the Living Faith Church founder, which was reported by the media on April 1. In a thread of tweets, Obi had said, "Our legal team have been instructed to take appropriate legal action against People Gazette and others." Now, he goes over to say, "Let me reiterate that the audio call being circulated is fake. At no time throughout the campaign, and now did I ever say, think, or even imply that the 2023 election is or was a religious war," he wrote. But in reaction on his Twitter handle, the AAC candidate said Obi was only playing to the gallery and will not go ahead with a threat to sue the news outlet. Now, he further said, if at all he dares sue, he will abandon the lawsuit halfway and claim he's forgiving you guys out of benevolence. What do you think about that? Now, my worry has been, who tapped his phones? Is it his phone that was tapped or that of the bishops that was tapped? Whose phone was tapped? And how come they got to this point? And who leaked it? Well. Somebody said we live in the media world where everything that you are doing somewhere, somehow being watched or recorded or listened to by another person. So what about that? Okay, let's move on to some other stories making the rounds from Nigeria. The federal government has secured $800 million from the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development as part of its post-subsidy palliative plans. The Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, disclosed this to journalists after the Federal Executive Council meeting presided over by President Muhammadu Buhari on Wednesday, April 5th. Now, Ahmed said the $800 million from the World Bank form the first tranche of palliatives and will be disbursed to 10 million households considered to be most vulnerable. Interesting. Have we got the data to actually show us those who are most vulnerable? We saw it during the COVID where, foodstuff that were supposed to be given or shared to communities or those who were vulnerable communities were not. They were rather hoarded in some warehouses. So are we going to be seeing anything different from there? Are they not going to be giving it to, dishing those monies out to the, the APC supporters who have held them some way, somehow? I don't want to say it, rigging the elections. You did very, very well, so let's give him something. Is that not what's going to happen? Well, a lot more going to be coming your way from there. Updates from Nigeria, from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, as the government has gone out to loan $800 million for palliative. Now, let me tell you what has happened to the NNPC, who is supposed to be the regulator or ones who are seeing to the crude oil issue there in Nigeria, the trading and everything. In 2016, the Auditor General released a report indicating that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited was unable to account for crude oil deliveries worth over $376 million, which is equivalent to 102.6 billion to the Warri and Kaduna refineries. Recently, the Senate Committee on Public Accounts, led by Senator Matthew Rogide, reviewed the report and determined NNPCL must provide a detailed account of crude oil lifted and supplied to the two refineries. The story says all 109 senators representing the 26 states of Nigeria unanimously agreed upon the findings of the committee on Wednesday, April 7, 2023. Wednesday wasn't April 7. I think they got it wrong. Wednesday, April 5th. Now, these queries are part of a larger investigation into 37 ministries, departments, and agencies. Now, senators demand answers. The Senate wants Mele Kayari, the group managing director of the NNPCL, to provide details of the crude oil lifted from Escravos terminal and the associated finances. Now, the query of the Senate reads, from the review and examination of the domestic crude oil lifting sales profile presented for audit verification, it was noted that several deliveries were stated to be jointly lifted by or delivered to Warri Refinery and Petrochemical Company and Kaduna Refinery and Petrochemical Company without necessary details or breakdown of what was delivered to respective companies. So we have this situation where we have tankers coming to the ports, okay, loading crude oil, leaving the country, the shores of Nigeria, and they cannot even account for that. But when a little some man who is so desperate decides to go, maybe they call them the Yahoo, do all sorts because they are in desperate situation and therefore they want to do everything to survive. Then you see them going after them. Now, what about the big fishes who have actually robbed the country of up to 102 billion naira or $377 million? What about that? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It's your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time to 11:22. Let's move on to one other story as well. Now, organ harvesting. Obasanjo writes to UK court, seeks clemency for Ekweremadu. Now, was it last week or thereabout we did announce, whilst we were on air, we brought you the breaking news, I think it might be last 2 weeks, that Ekweremadu and the wife and the doctor who was facilitating the organ donation or transplant was, in actual fact, sentenced, found guilty, and have been sentenced. The former President Olusegun Obasanjo has written a letter to the chief clerk of the Central Criminal Court in London to temper justice with mercy over the conviction of former Deputy Senate President Senator Ike Ekweremadu and his wife. It will be recalled that Ekweremadu and his wife, alongside a Nigerian doctor, Obinna Obita, were recently found guilty of attempted organ harvesting of a Nigerian trafficked to Britain to provide a kidney for their ailing daughter. Obasanjo, in the letter dated April 3, and addressed to the chief clerk, the Central Criminal Court, Old Bailey, London, titled Ike Ekweremadu said, though Ekweremadu's action was condemnable and unacceptable, he had contributed his quota to the socio-political development of Nigeria, adding that his punishment should consider his past records of good deeds and the plight of his ailing daughter. Now, yesterday we were here when breaking news came in that the former is the chief executive of the SNP had been arrested. Now, he's been the chief executive of the SNP since 1999. He's done so much for that part of the Scottish, but I will tell you that, well, no one is above the law, and therefore he was arrested, though he's not being charged. Okay, investigation is still going on. The day before that, too, we had the former president of the United States of America, Bill. What was I going to say? Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, who was also arrested and also appeared before court, charged with various what offenses there as well. But the question once again is, were they above the law? Those individuals, were they above the law? Somebody say no. So why should Ike Ekwuemadu now we say that, oh, he's being, let's look at his past records and maybe show him some clemency? Well, that's what the former president is saying. But we'll see what the authorities here will do. The letter read, "It is with great pleasure that I write in respect of Senator Ike Ekwuemadu, who I have known for over 2 decades. Now, within this period, I have followed and watched with keen interest Ike Ekwuemadu's inspiring career, which traversed private legal practice and public administration. I recall with fond memories the beginnings of our political and social relationship at the outset of our collective quest for democratic rebirth for our fatherland. Now, during my administration as a democratically elected president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria between 1999 and 2007, Ike Ekwuemadu and I had a close relationship and interaction as staunch members of our political party, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and more so as he got elected into the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in 2003, of which he has since remained a member till date. Now, within this period of his service in the Nigerian Parliament, he has served as Deputy Senate President of the Senate and has headed so many committees in various capacities and brought to bear his broad-based experience in legal practice and public administration. Sometime in 2009, he was appointed as the first deputy of the Economic Community of West Africa States and led an ad hoc committee to work for the return of ECOWAS B constitutional order in the Niger Republic. I clearly remember that in the heady days of the King contest for the presidential ticket of our party early in 1999, he joined other well-meaning Nigerians from the southeastern part of Nigeria to set aside extraneous consideration and ensured that Southeast unanimously adopted me for presidency. This was without regard to the fact that my closest competitor hailed from their part of the country. Now he goes on further to say, Ike Ekwuemadu's conferment with the coveted national honor of Commander of the Federal Republic, that's the CFR, is further testimony to his selfless service to our country, Nigeria. Now, with all these records and everything that has been played out, do you think that Ike Ekwuemadu, with this letter penned by the former President Olusegun Obasanjo, be, cleared or somehow released? Clemency, temper, justice with mercy? What do you think? Now, if it was you who have traveled to the country to do something, will the president or the former president, will any of the Nigerians now write a letter to the authorities here to say that, you know what, release that person? Wow. I don't know what you think about it, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio, okay? Your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, let me bring you a couple and then we'll bring the updates from Nigeria to a close. We'll have Mr. Frank Davis also joining in during the course of the program, so wherever you are, stay tuned, don't touch the dial. NLC condemns attack on students in Kaduna. The Nigerian Labour Congress Kaduna State Council has appealed to the state government and security agencies to do all they can to rescue kidnapped students as GSS Awon, kidnapped students of GSS Awon in the Kachia local government area. In a statement issued by Comrade Ayuba Magaji Suleiman, the state chairperson said, "We urge the state government and security agencies to do the needful in ensuring the safe release of the kidnapped students." The statement strongly condemned the attack and kidnapping of students of GSS Awon in Kachia LGA of Kaduna and other victims in various forests. Now, was it last week or so when one of the spokespersons of the APC did make a statement that, you know what, all the what do we call them once again, those who were kidnappers and the various group of people during the campaign or the elections have all gone on holidays. I don't know whether he said because there were the naira scarcity or because of the new naira note that have been printed and the fact that people didn't have monies on themselves, so they've all gone on holidays. But this is a case where students have been captured. What do you think is going to happen to them? And what would you call on the authorities to do? This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, PDP guns for speakership as opposition members elect unite ahead of the 10th Assembly. The People's Democratic Party has expressed optimism that it can produce the next Speaker of the House of Representatives. Some sort of information coming through says that Debo Oluganaba confirmed this on Wednesday after members elect of opposition parties gathered to form an alliance called the Greater Majority to influence the election of the next leader or leaders in the Green Chamber. It is understood that opposition members met to discuss strategies for using their numbers as bargaining power in negotiating with the Speaker or the speakership aspirants of the ruling or Progressive Congress. Who is going to be the next speaker? Is it going to be coming from the ruling party, the APC? Is it going to come from the PDP? What about the Labour Party? Okay, lots more going to be coming your way. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 11:31 the time, and we're going to take a break. And once we come back, we'll continue with all the stories making the rounds across the globe. Now, Prince Oji says Obasanjo and co will be the reason Ekweremadu will not serve any prison term when he returned to Nigeria, a lawless country indeed. I mean, he is against the fact that Obasanjo is calling for the release. But if Ekweremadu and the wife are released and the doctor who was doing the facilitating are released, when they get to Nigeria, are they going to be incarcerated there? That's the question. Or they are free and they are free because of what they've done for the country. Now, what about you? If you offend, would you also now claim some clemency there so that you will be released? Because you've been good, haven't you? You've been a good citizen. You've been paying your taxes. You've been going to church. You've been going to mosque. You've been doing everything that you have to do. What about that? Lots more going to be coming your way from here. Starr Radio UK. Let's take a commercial break and I'll bring you some lovely tune and we'll continue with the show. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, Don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
This is Starr Radio UK.
All around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
The problem of Africa is belief. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Them all go to university. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. 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 Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement. Masters in looting. MSc in corruption. Bachelor of Science in nepotism. MSc in forgery. Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline. MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is daily. Who run things, who run things, who run things. The problem of Africa is daily. Who run things, who run things, who run things. Some of them went to London, London School of Fools, where they were awarded degree.
Okay, welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 11:37 the time.
MSc,
the morning show, the program.
PhD, dishonesty.
But wherever you are, we want to encourage you. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well.
Love us in selfishness. MSc in greed.
But that's a lovely tune coming from the Zungo man himself. The problem of Africa. But now, let's take you to other parts of the world, looking at other stories making the rounds. And as I did say, just give Frank a few moments and he's going to be joining in as well. He's also doing or digging into some of the stories that we are looking into. But let me say thank you to Mr. Olayomi Koiki for that update that you sent our way to share with our lovely listeners. But remember, I don't know, maybe next week, Wednesday, Yomi will be bringing you the Niger Voices. I know that you guys missed the Niger Voices yesterday. It is all because he is actually also, we are parents as well, It's quite interesting. We do wear all the hats, So he has to now. The kids are on half term, and therefore they need to have some time with daddy as well. What about that? Yeah, you have to make sure you fit. Yes, be everything that you're supposed to be there for him as well. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. No, don't worry, it's not on. it didn't go out. So, well. All right then. Okay. So, as I did say, I've got Frank here. Let me say good morning to him, and then we can continue.
Archie, good morning.
Morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very good.
Great.
Busy morning.
Yes. We know that
it's not easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
How did the former president say, President?
You see, if a bird doesn't fly,
he's still standing. He's standing at the same place.
The same place.
Okay, so somehow we have to make some moves, and that's
we
what
have to necessarily.
Yes. Okay. Now a quick one from just picking something from what the updates that we got from Nigeria pertaining to the former President Obasanjo and the intervention with the Ekurema dudes issue.
Yeah.
Now, do you think it's a wise thing to do at all?
Actually, we have to look at it from two angles.
Mm-hmm.
The justice system makes room for clemency.
Mm-hmm.
That is why even at a presidential level, the president has the power to pardon even a criminal, even a murderer. I mean, they do that.
Mm-hmm.
It does not take away the issue of guilt.
Okay.
Crime that you've committed still remains on your file.
Yeah.
What you do not do is to serve those custodial sentence or work sentence or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't think Obasanjo has done anything wrong in this contest. What he's doing is that trying to use the guy's or the man's past records as being someone who has lived a life that we celebrate to a point where he has now become a convicted criminal. Whatever might have driven him to do what he did, which is totally wrong, because you cannot be engaged in such activity, especially when as a legal person you know the consequences of your actions, and you've gone through that. Your life should not be worth more than another person's life.
Of course.
Your child, you might be rich, you might have the influence, doesn't mean that at each point in time my child that is mine might not be rich as you. A Nigerian person's child who might not be as rich as yours, their life should be valued less than yours, which is exactly what in this case all about. Now we know organs are transplanted, but there are proper procedures. What prevented him from going through that? You do not go take someone's child, or you not work with a hospital or a doctor just because of your money to pay someone for their organs to be taken illegally just to get your that is a criminal offense, and it should not be allowed.
Okay.
You see, but the interesting thing about this incident is the interesting thing about this issue is if it were to be Nigeria, would we have secured a conviction for, because there's one thing intervening, asking for clemency. The person has been tried, went through the system, and has guilty. The system has this. What you've done is a crime, and this is a punishment you're receiving. If we're looking at your past record, but for what you have done, we would have sentenced you to 10 years, but we're giving you 2 years, or you are paying instead of custodial sentence, you are paying, let's say, it's money that you have. That is why you are paying, let's say, 10 million Nigerian naira to this family, or you are taking care of the child, their family for the rest of their life. Those are punitive actions that can come in different form. But you see, if it were to be Nigeria, this issue wouldn't have appeared before the court.
No way.
Neither would a justice or any judicial or executive stand there, muster the courage to be able to say we are putting a former Senate president before the court. And that is a system, and that is where we have a problem. Personally, that's what I keep on. Systems must function. If this man in Nigeria can be identified, you committed this crime, the system can try him. It gets that the president pardons him or whatever clemency. That is fine, but the system must be seen as working. People cannot commit crime, commit murder, and get away with it just because they are rich. Just because they are powerful in the society. What we're telling people is that if you are rich and you can get away with it, then if I'm a young boy, my objective, how do I get money so that I can commit all the crimes?
To be rich. I mean, the end justifies the means.
If I can sell cocaine, I sell. If I can commit murder, I do it, provided it brings me money. Because I'll use that money again to influence the system
and defend myself.
And once we begin to cultivate that culture, which is what we have been doing over the years, we then risk creating a vicious cycle of criminality and producing criminals as our leaders, and that's exactly what has happened. Yeah.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's take a quick break, and then we will be with you. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer, and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
In your car,
At work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 14 minutes to the top of the hour. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davids. We know we got a very beautiful lady in the house, but she says she's not good. You're not going to be seeing her, but you do hear her voice every day, so that is good enough, isn't it? All right, then. But now let's move on. Alicia, once again, welcome to the program. All right, then. Now moving on to some of the other stories. Picking from the fact that no one is above the law, and we see the systems or the institutions working, and that's why we've seen Eke Kuremadu, who's very influential when it comes to Nigeria, now found guilty, the wife and the doctor who facilitated everything. Now let's go straight to what happened in Scotland yesterday, and then we'll go to the United States of America. Yesterday, Nicola Sturgeon's husband was arrested. Now that will be something that you will not hear in Africa.
That's it.
You especially when it's the same party. He's the head of the,
unless it's being political, unless we're looking at that from an angle of political witch hunting. The theory, let's clip their wings, but not to serve justice.
Not
to serve justice. But if it has to do, let's do whatever to clip their wings, so that politically we basically kill one strong opposition or someone who will influence our defeat or who can impact our public image. Let's do it. But if it has to do with seeking justice, none of them is going to do it.
Because I'm looking at the amount of money there. It's talking about 600,000 pounds. That is where they're saying the account has been something that they're not very sure, and that's why they apprehended him. Now, and I'm looking at that. I'm going to look at the quantum monies that are stolen and wasted. I just talk about Nigeria, where 102 billion naira, that is equivalent to how many? $367 million. It is it's gone. We can't. We know that the crude oil went, but we can't find it.
What is the population of Nigeria?
200,000. 200. Yeah.
I want to challenge someone to tell me the population of Nigeria, because I think we all get
200 million.
No, I doubt.
I think that's what they've been saying. 220
no, I
million.
Doubt it. I mean, see, their census did not capture a demography. They've not captured dwarfs, because we are told dwarfs and snake consume money. So probably the dwarf population might have taken that money. That's why they are not sure. Actually, the crime level in our countries is just too much. We're talking about Scottish this thing.
Peter Morrell.
The police did not call anyone, or no one called the police. Stand down. This is this is a very big person. The police went ahead and did their job. They started an investigation because do not forget, a party is a public entity.
That's right.
They started the investigation. As a chief executive of that party, you have questions to answer. Campaign financing is something, and money that comes in must be properly accounted for. If it's not accounted for properly and issues have been raised, then you're gonna questions to answer. The police did not receive any call from either the king. Oh, this is my Scottish
former CEO
of my government, the king's government, and therefore that will bring a disgrace to the image of what they call it, Scottish National Party, or that will dent the image of the of United Kingdom. No, the police went straight, did their job. They went, questioned him, and released him without charge. Those are, I mean, facts that we can all. Why was he not charged? The police do their job. If he was not arrested, someone will say, okay, the institution, the police as an institution, have not done their job.
That's right.
But now we can credit the police as doing their job. If you go on the record on that, we say, yes, we arrested this man, we question him, our investigation showed that we cannot charge him, or the evidence we have is not enough to charge him. He's released. Cleared. Now anyone who is in SMP saying, oh, he has squandered money, he can even say, look, maybe I was arrested, I was investigated, I'm clean. That is one we also work from. But you see, if it were to be Ghana, Nigeria, I don't know about Barbados, but if it was in Ghana and Nigeria, one thing I do know, a phone call would have come.
Oh, straight.
Oh, let me make a phone call. He would have picked a phone and said, oh, President, you know, your guy
come to my house,
come to say, hey, stand down, that's a very big money now. Are you getting that nonsense? It's what is destroying us. I mean, it's proper nonsense that we need to do away with if we need to move forward.
Because you're looking at what happened in the US, was it last Tuesday? Last Tuesday.
Donald Trump.
Same thing. So you see that institutions are working and no one is above the law. We are all under the law. I mean,
I'm not saying we are equal.
No, we are not equal.
All the fingers are not equal.
No.
But when it comes to the law,
we are all under the law.
I mean, again, if you look at this organ harvesting case, we are not equal, because like the question you asked, if Olayomi has been arrested, tried with the same crime, convicted like this man, Obasanjo will not write.
No.
That tells you that yes, we have a lot of Nigerians in prisons today in the UK right here. Why are they not why is Obasanjo not writing to them?
They are not equal.
Why is Jonathan not writing to them? So again, yes, before the law, we are all equal. We can get treated the same thing. But you see, because of who we are in the society, sometimes we get a bit of clemency coming, we get a bit of undeserved and uncommon favors coming. Are you getting it? And always the institutions of the court or the prison are to reform. If we know, so sometimes once in a while we all get mad. Are you getting me? And do certain things, and sometimes it's your past record. That is why, even because you are a pastor, let me put this: the Bible even said when he wanted to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, if you can even find one person, I'll spare this thing. So it's not that they've not committed crimes. It's not that what they've done, God, I mean, does not dislike it. But he's saying, yes, I know you've committed these crimes. However, if you can get me one person who is righteous, I'll forgive them their crimes and spare them, and we begin a new chapter. That does not mean that
you
we acknowledge
you are guilty, but
are you getting me? So whichever way you look at it, and for me, that is one thing that is dragging our countries back. If you look at when Professor Thomas was in office, was sworn in Ghana, Dr. Tony Adu had to resign because there were evidence, enough dockets to prosecute people who corrupted during Kufuor administration. Preview Bin and others prevailed on him. Let's start a new chapter. If not, we're going to be doing and that's why Jerry got mad, because they are criminal people who committed crimes against the state, but the most powerful are now pleading on their behalf. Some negotiating, taking monies into their pocket. Well, I've always said I don't like prison sentence. I don't like custodial sentence. In this man's case, for instance, I do not think he should be going to prison. No. Look, if you are paying for organs to be harvested.
Yeah.
We need to divide your income you are earning and whatever income you have, and let's put the rest to social good.
Yeah.
That's what we do. Let's hit people in their pockets. So this man should be paying this family that he should look after the He should sow a seed in their life for the rest of their lives. And he should do same for about 20, 30, 40 people as part of their...
Next time,
because
when at the
end of the day, it is money that you have.
Yeah.
That is why you were pushed to do this.
Yeah.
You didn't want to go through the system.
Yeah.
So let's get you in the pocket and let the good society benefit. I mean, that's my solution. Not prison. Prisons are... Yesterday I was listening to a program. Why would I go to prison and be given a television, internet,
this is
and then I don't pay bills?
No, free.
It's
only that you're not able to go out,
and I can decide when to work, when not to work.
Yeah.
Even the prisoners are going to work, I can say, "Oh no, I don't feel like work."
Yeah. No,
I mean, look. Sometimes people want to go to prison.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
not the tag that you, because you don't pay anything. You get food. You are only deprived of your movement. Now they are congestion charge. Why do you want to move? Stay there, eat, and be free. To a point where someone in prison, if you want to marry.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
Yeah, he got married. He got married.
Yeah.
Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Bringing the time now to 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's pick this other story, and then we will open the lines for you to join in if you have any comments or suggestions from there. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, so the next story. Officers are being moved from serious crimes to clean up Met, and I was asking, does it actually not put our security in a problem? Question mark there, because the story says 7 Met police officers have been taken away from the tackling serious crime and terrorism and instead told to investigate wrongdoings in the force. Now, Commissioner Sir Mark Rowley said about 90 officers had been moved away from fighting serious and organized crimes to the Met Professional Standards team. He said there are hundreds who should not be in the force. It comes after the force was branded as institutionally racist, homophobic, and misogynistic in a damning report. Now, Frank, the fact that, first of all, we know that we are always, the threat of attacks or stuff like that is going on. We know that the police officers, the security agencies, they do very, very well.
Yeah.
That's why they are able to protect us. But with everything that has gone on, the investigation and the report that has come out, now we're looking at the fact that now it's pulled 90 of them from that place where they're supposed to protect us to come and now do investigation into themselves.
Archie, it's good because the public image or the public perception of the place is going down. And I do say the very day we lose confidence in our police force, that's the day crime begin to go up. Because if I have no confidence that the police, when I report a case to them, they're going to do the right job, or when I call them, they're going to come and do a right job without killing me, then basically I am tempted to take the law into my own hands, which means that domestic violence will increase, right? Petty crime will increase, and all sort of crime will increase, because we know the police are not fit for purpose. Okay. So the best thing is just like you driving a car, making a lot of noise, want to go on a long journey. The first thing you do is to sort out the problem with the car. If you do not have confidence in that car, you're not going to drive. It means that whatever load you carry and whatever you want to achieve on that journey is not going to go anywhere. So what we're doing now, the cars are the police. Those who are actually carrying the burden of sorting out crime, protecting us, are the police. If you do not have confidence, then they are not doing an efficient job, we then have a problem. You take Ghana for instance. Over the last 3 days or 4 days, we've seen videos coming out where a 22-year-old boy with his gangs have to, basically the police officers were begging them, pleading, because the police went look for money from them. They wanted to take them somewhere. The gang actually blocked the road with a motorbike. But you see, these police officers started begging this guy, because why? They've compromised themselves. They take money from the this guy. This guy has been recruited by the police to be their errand boy. So the guy go to Galamsey side to collect money, and all we're hearing is that The guy was interviewed, said he collected 100,000, which he said he will not give to them, and that is why they were chasing him, and they've declared him wanted now. One, the police have compromised themselves. The integrity is down.
Yeah,
that's why that boy and his gang can stand up and even beat the police.
Yeah.
Yesterday again, there was another video that was out. The police unprofessionally stop a car and pull the person unprofessional out of the car. The guy is strong, right? One gave him a knock. He hit the guy back. One wanted to get him down. The police officer was down instead. So he fought 3 police officers. Again, Archie, the way the police conducted themselves, what the guy did might be wrong because those are uniform officers. But I do not think the way, from looking at the video, the police conducted themselves professionally. Besides, when they pull him out of the car, normally what do you do? The person,
read the person the rights. Check what their documents of their vehicle.
Are you getting me? Like most of it, when the police stop you, the first thing they ask you, your insurance, your this, and then they begin to ask money. Are you getting me? So the police image is down, and therefore when they stop you, you are thinking, if I have a contraband good in my car and the police stop me, I might even not get wait for the police stop. All I'll do envelopes. Down. So then when the police stop me, officer, before I came recently, I gave some police officer money. I was driving through La Paz, and you know, the traffic was, there's an intersection like a T junction, and when you're coming from the left, those who were going straight, the traffic was blocked, and some throttle drivers were actually trying to go past. So those of us who were coming from the other end, when you get to the T junction, you can't come.
You couldn't join the road.
Couldn't join. Do you know what this police officer was doing? When you come, he tells you to reverse all the way to join.
That's a good one.
So my driver, so when we got there, I told my driver to stop. I gave him some money. That is someone who is
appreciate
what
the person is doing.
And when I told, the guy was so happy. Not much, some little change. But we appreciate when the police are doing the right thing. Assuming that guy has stopped that car or those cars, as they shake him, he give them 10 Ghana, and then he lets them go. Do you think people appreciate what he's doing?
Not all.
So the police will need to work for their confidence level. So what we have in this system, for me, I'm happy that at least let's do a review of what is going on. Let's do an introspection, which every human being must do, check and balances, and every institution must do if they want to live long, if the institution wants to survive. So I have full confidence what they are doing. Let's do it. And this is a system where reports will be made public, or we know, if not even 100%, lessons will be learned, and we know we'll have a better metropolitan place instead of what we do have now.
Now, what do we do as the minority in society to have that cool relationship with the police now? What can the metropolitan police authorities do to bridge? Because we know that the relationship between the minority and the it's not gone virtually. If it's 10%, maybe 10%, let me give them something, 10%. But so they got lots of work to do. But what do you reckon can be done?
Actually, I think we need community engagements. That is number one in my view. We need more of our people also joining the police force. We need to stop engineering ourselves and our exclusion from the system. But again, when I talk of community engagement education, is that we sometimes find our brothers who are in place trying to behave even more than the Caucasians.
You got it.
All right, they want to prove that yes, I'm a black, and therefore I want to act in the ways that they will know that I'm not favoring my blacks. But you know the problem we have in our community. The approach might not be the approaches that you have. Why don't you engage and say, look, my community has, they don't, because of ABC, they don't like the police force. The standard approach that we use to engage them might not work. I recall we had a seminar somewhere last year at Plumstead. We invited police officers in, engaging. Some youths were there, weed smokers and others were there, as engaging. I smoke. The person said, I smoke weed. Even brought it up. The guy brought a joint up in the church building. But you see, the police at that time did not arrest the person. But they tried to explain to the person the consequences of his actions, the borderline, where to arrest, where not to. Actually, when we finished that, the feedbacks that we got from that was very positive. We need to, and there was a black police officer there, and there was a white police officer there. There was a white police officer woman. There was another black police officer woman, because we specifically requested for that. Are you getting me? We need to engage. We need to get more of our people joining the police, but we need to suggest to them how we want them to deal with us. And we also need to do our own work, because we the knife on black crime that we see, a lot of it is black to black. It's black on black. Are you getting me? If you occasionally you see a white person stabbing on an Asian person stabbing, this, and the guy who died in my house, for instance, was what they call it, an a Pakistani boy stabbing a black Jamaican boy. Why? Because of a girl that a black should not chase. But disproportionately is black on black crime. So what is fueling the black on black crime within our society? A case that we nearly witnessed has to do with fraud. When the guy got involved in credit card fraud at an early age, they were collecting. They will tell you, go and bring your mommy's bank details, go and bring your mommy card, and they sneak into our homes. Your child will come to your house, take your bank card or your bank account details, give it to the fraudster. They put money in it, and then they begin to put pressure on them. That tell your mom to pay. If you don't get the money, they come after you. So we also need to do our homework in basically the way we educate our kids. Do we neglect them to do our cleaning jobs almost all the time that we do not know what they are doing? Do we allow them to go and be smoking without checking? Do we wave a white flag just because we wake up at dawn, 4 a.m., go to job, come, eat, sleep 1 hour, go before they come? It's like traffic. They come, we are gone. The time they, when by the time we arrive, they are also gone. Is that what we do? So our communities too needs to work. And finally, I think our churches. I believe our churches are not doing enough. I do not think that preaching the gospel Monday, Sunday, Jesus, Easter is here, we go and preach. I do not think that should be the approach the churches should be going on. I sincerely believe that the church must get involved in what is happening to the community. I keep on saying, where we are now, the church building is closed. This today, apart from choir practice that will happen, the church building. What happens to the youth around this area after school when their mothers are away? Can the church open its door, engage some people, pensioners, to start interacting with this? So the church, because a lot of us congregate in the churches, we congregate in the mosques. Why can't we use those institutions to be able to influence the society? So it's not a police, not only the police issue. It's our community as well. The community
now, interestingly, was it last Saturday? Yes, there was is it a demonstration, or no? I wouldn't call it a demonstration, rather. Some group of people who in Croydon here who were demonstrating against knife crime. Okay, and one of the suggestions that one of the guys, I think that the son was killed by through that, and was suggesting that parents should check their kids bags for knives before they get out, so that they don't have that that edge to go and do that, and the police stopping them and all that thing that is happening. And I was saying that it's be difficult for parents, especially when there is that traffic system. You are coming and they are going in the first place, and then when children have got that particular thing, they some of them take it, go and hide it somewhere. They wouldn't bring it home. They hide it before they get home. So they can go and pick it after you've checked them, and they go. So it's quite a difficult situation for our community.
Archie, you see, human beings are not they are social beings with change. When you put a barrier here and a human being wants to go around the barrier, they know what to do. They actively can start engineering a route around the barrier. So in my view, putting those street barriers, a knife, set your back. What happens if I tell my friend, my mom is taking my knife, so can you bring one? What happens? Are you getting me? What happens? Screwdriver, what happens? I do believe engaging the people is the right way. We need to understand the consequence of our actions. If we understand the consequences of our actions, Archie, we know exactly that when you do that, look, you know about Samuel's case.
Yeah.
When it got to a point where he understood the consequences of his actions,
yeah.
There's certain things that he couldn't. He now rechanneled his energy, and I do believe Samuel. I'm always saying that he's a classic example of what is possible when we actively get involved with these kids. Because there was a point where from the age of 12 to the age of 16 is where we should.
Yeah.
And again, our parents will need to understand our brain development. That between the age of 0 to 7, there's certain things that the brain takes in. From 7 to the age of 11, there's certain things the brain takes in.
Yeah.
From the age of 13, 12, getting to 15, whatever we've taken in from our infants, we now begin to try and develop our own, mix it up and experiment it. If you're not able to handle that phase critically and guide, we
you either go left or you go right.
Go right. It's like two-way. Go here, go there. So as parents, we also need to understand the development of every child. And most of us do not know. We do not understand that this is what we should be expecting. This is what we should be expecting when the child gets to 9 years. Expect some of this behavior, and therefore we think that we are still in Africa. The way our parents will go and take a cane and whip us into what they call it in line. It's not going to work over here, and especially this day. Do our parents know the impact of what they call it, social media? Do they know the power behind internet? Don't tell me you're only looking at the internet whether they are watching pornography or not. No. What the type of books they are reading.
Yeah.
You sit down with a child who says, I want to be a doctor. And the child, you see the person always drawing, always doing certain things with their hands, interested in reading some of the books. They come to school, you ask them what was their favorite subject, they tell you maths, they tell you science. It should start telling you something where they are thinking towards. Are you getting me? A child comes home, you say, what do you want to be? I want to be, let's say, a banker. And they come home and they are doing they come football. Bankers do not play football like that. So you should be able to understand that you want to be a banker. What do they do? If you have to meet someone within a bank, tell them what it takes to get it. Let it be. And I do believe our church, because in my view, the parents themselves, the pressure on them, most of them cannot do it by themselves. And that is why I think the church must find a role to be able to intervene in some of this, because at the end of the day, whether we like it or not, we might think it's not our issue, but every member of our church has the potential to bring 10 members in the next. And if we do not take active interest in what happens to their family members, it means that we are not interested in that church member,
of course,
who can, because if he goes home and they're stressed, they are thinking of what is happening. You think they will come? They come to church. We are even preaching. Their mind is where's Kojo, where's Frank, where's this thing. So I do believe that. Look, the institutions we have now, let's use them. Let's use them. We have to educate ourselves as parents.
Let me digress a bit. Sami, you are there. Good morning to you as well. We hope you are doing very, very well. Okay, now a quick one. Do you think that we over spiritualize things?
We do. We over spiritualize things. Look, Archie, I am one person who do not believe in long prayers for personal reasons. I'm someone who do not believe
people will love you when you are leading prayers then.
I do not
5 minutes and we finish, everybody go home.
I also do not believe in this kind of regimental way of church. That's personally. I do believe that church should guide us to know God for ourselves, because salvation, the Bible says, is personal. The reason we congregate is not to forsake the assembly of
the saints,
and therefore we have to assemble. But I do not think that once there are certain problems, we should be prayers are something that help the environment. Spiritually it does, and research has established that people who go to church are less depressed than those who do not go to church. So research has established that believing in faith, whether it's Islamic faith, Buddhism, or whatever, believing in some sort of faith works better for the body and it prolongs life than not believing in it. So whichever scientifically that has been established. However, I do not think that, look, I am driving my car. The law says I should not be, what do you call it, using a mobile phone. My auntie or my friend call me, hey, what's up? What is going on? Please stop me. And then they are finding me, they are prosecuting me. I'm not saying God cannot do anything. I should take that problem and be worrying pastor. Or I should use a whole session praying about that penalty. No, because it's a waste. For me, it's a waste of time. At the end of the day, yes, I can pray that God should favor that, and common favor should count that problem. This, or should give me wisdom to apply. But the next thing, sometimes I've seen cases where you can pray, say, I admit I was in the wrong. But it was as a direct result of A, B, C, D, which with the benefit of hindsight, I shouldn't have done it. I understand these are my punishment and I'm ready for them. However, I plead that given this opportunity, I'll never repeat that offense. They'll come back and tell you, for this, you have been forgiven for now. Because human beings are that. But if you take that without acting, not admitting, then say it's your grandfather who pushed you to take the phone. It's your grandmother. When
they want to stop you from driving.
He has no phone number in the grave. Are you getting me? And you tell me let's go and pray against it. It's foolishness.
Let's cast the demons out.
If you tell me let's go and take a cane and you go and put a pillar over there, we are whipping Satan, whipping Satan. Where Satan himself is busy working his salvation. Satan wants to go to heaven first.
They say he
So I think there's certain thing with spiritual. Look, there are illness. Let me take my mom for example. My mom fell ill. All kind of spiritual interpretations were coming and other things. I accept them that spiritually they exist. But what do I need to do? I took my mom straight to the hospital. Right? These are the problems. God, how do you help me solve this problem? I am not going to deprive or say I'm not going to hospital because we know spiritually. No. Because do not forget, those, if it comes to medicine, those who develop those medicines and other things are also a creation of God. That's why I always have a fundamental.
God gives them that wisdom for them to go by all those things.
The Bible says everything underneath, on this earth, under earth and above it was created by Him.
That this morning.
We did. We were having a chat this morning.
So for me, I respect everything that is out there. I pray for God to give us wisdom. So my prayer will be targeting and looking at solutions. God help me out. Okay. So I think sometimes we over spiritual things.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 17 minutes past the top of the hour. Let me open the lines. And if you want to join in the conversation, call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58 02081-33-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US or Canada, it's 0017183032737 0017183032737. You can also text or WhatsApp us at 0753966144 0753966144. Our Twitter handle is at Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. So let us know what you think about everything that we're doing this morning. If you have any take on it, feel free to share it with us, and I promise you one thing for sure, whether it's on the social media or wherever you want to call in, I'll make sure your voice is heard as well. All right then, now let's move on to some other stories making the rounds. Now, hopping on straight to the African continent once again. Zimbabwe is to criminalize foreign recruitment of health workers. Now, if you go to the NHS now, I have a few friends who work in the NHS, and they will tell you that we've got Ghanaians, got Nigerians, we got South Africans, we got Zimbabweans who are all there. Now, if the authorities in Zimbabwe cannot provide or give the proper environment, grant the workers the good environment to work in, and these people are trooping out of the country, do you criminalize them? Or is it a way to actually keep their health system also ticking along nicely? Frank?
Archie.
Okay, listeners, just bear with us. Let's take a quick break and then we'll be back. Let's take a quick break. Stay tuned. Don't go away.
Hi, I'm Dr. Donald Palmer and I'm an immunologist. COVID-19 is still with us and making people ill every day, but it's not too late for all adults to book their first or second NHS COVID-19 vaccination. To get these vaccinations while they are still available and protect yourself and those around you, visit nhs.uk/COVID vaccination or call 119.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
This is Starr Radio UK.
You're the only one who has my back. You're the only one to keep me on track. Many times I slipped and I correct. No matter what I did, you always took me back. Love the struggle. Ooh, love the struggle. No one understands me. Love the struggle.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Love the struggle.
In your car,
Work,
at home,
on your smartphone,
Love the struggle. Ooh, all of the fathers lying, saying the soup be right back. But here I am, just waiting for a holler back.
in your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Always a struggle. I'm down on my knees. Yeah.
Well, that's what Africans do say. Aluta continua. Yeah, the struggle goes on unabated. So whatever you are trusting, you wish you want to really do. But I do say all the time, well, it could cost you your life, you know. But if you believe in a cause and you're standing for it, then stand up for it. Somewhere, somehow, you might not enjoy it, but maybe posterity will be the one judging you, and maybe your children will be the ones enjoying it as well. Look at the struggles that took place in the US and all this part of the world as well. Those who were trying to stand up for themselves, saying that we are blacks, we are this, that. Well, they believe in the cause. Some lost their lives, some were abused. Call it, all sorts did happen to them. But at least we see a form of a resemblance of some good going on across the globe. So yeah. If you believe in the cause, just stand for it. Don't give in. Don't give up. One day, you will get there. As the OCBSA group, they say we are going, but heaven knows where we are going. But we know that we will get there one day. All right then, Starr Radio UK, 12:24 the time. With me in the studio, Mr. Frank Davis. I'm Archie, and we are bringing you the rest of the show. Well, tomorrow we're not going to be here. And Monday we're not going to be here. We're going to be having time with the family as well. You know, I told you that we're all family animals. Frank will say we are social animals. Yes. So we will be mingling as well. So we hope that you also do so. But there will be the Faith Talk that will be coming your way. I think it's going to be coming your way on Friday. I'll be telling you more about that as the time unfolds. We'll be posting the notification on our Facebook page as well. So go there and then have a look. And then there'll be lots of those of you who are celebrating the Easter, lots of music in that vein as well. So wherever you are, continue to stay tuned. Now let's go to Africa, where we're looking at Zimbabwe to criminalize foreign recruitment of health workers.
Yeah.
Now, I know you have advocated for the fact that we have health workers living the country by themselves, coming, at times they come, some will be going through challenges before they can get it there. So if it's like what the Cubans do, where they train the people and then they export them to various places, they make an income. Those people make a percentage, a majority of the percentage of it, but the state also makes something. We know that remittance from this part, the diaspora makes a big contribution to our economy back home. So we see all those things. But Zimbabwe going on to say that we want to criminalize them. What their intention there?
Actually, what are they going to criminalize? Someone I have left Zimbabwe. I'm in the UK working as a nurse, and you want to criminalize me? How are you going to get me?
So now, if you are living there, and you say you're going to the UK, you're going to the US, you're going to maybe Saudi Arabia. Are they going to be checking?
Are they going to say?
Are you going on holidays or you are?
Are they going to ban me from traveling? Or they actually going to punish those agencies that are facilitating the decision? You say, Archie, there are certain things you cannot stop. How do you manage it? For me, yes, I understand that we spend a lot of money from within our system training health workers and then they surge on to other countries to work. That for me is a drain on the system, which we cannot afford to continue to lose, because it seems we're always training people for others' benefit. But actually, we can also conclude that, look, human beings are stupid. That we should train them because we've trained them as doctors. They should remain and they should suffer. They have ambitions. Every human being has potentials. They have ambitions. I think the best thing will be, let's search at them. If you want to go, fine, we'll let you go. But you must sign a bond. Now once we train you as a doctor, you're going to pay 5 times the cost once you go. When you stay in, you don't pay anything. If you want to go, we give you license to travel out, and we agree on how much you pay when you pay. Because if you want to work, then we need that money to train 2 more people, or probably fast track the gap you have created by probably facilitating more doctors. You go for better training or facilitate the training, give probably more money to their lecturers or those who are teaching them to spend more hours training them. So actually, we must think outside the box. But you're not going to be able to tell people that don't travel, don't go and work anywhere. It's not going to happen. They will always go. I'm going to visit my friend in South Africa. I decided not to come. My visa is almost done. I'm gone. How are you going to?
Yeah, but interestingly, we train. When it comes to the training, we train them, and then they sign is it a guarantee or something?
Enforcement of the law is close to zero in Africa. So at the end of whether they say that we sign or we sign, it doesn't work. So again, even the bond that I'm saying we should sign over here, we might have to find a way of enforcing it. You go, you have to report to the embassy in that country. We need to know where you're going to. We need to negotiate with your workers, and they need to deduct a percentage from your money and be paying us.
Now, what about the institution itself? Let's say the health sector. You go to Ghana, you go to the Kolego teaching hospital, which is Ghana's top hospital, and then you go there, and the scanner is not working. Because somebody deliberately might have taken something out, and instead of them to repair it, they're not going to repair it, so that those people will be channeled to some private institution, and then people who are working in that sector feel so frustrated because they know that this is something that we could have dealt with. Government is not forthcoming, and therefore people are dying. And you say you're going to stop me from going out.
Actually, you raise a very important question, and I think that look, our public servants, our doctors, especially working in those institutions, we are some of the best, brilliant people over there. I recall again having to do with my mom's situation where I wanted to consult a private clinic. In fact, we went to a private doctor. We spoke. I look at what they do, and I went to a public system. I'm not going to mention the hospital, but actually, what I got from the public sector was very, very deep. Detailed analysis, time, and a professional service. Do not forget, some private institutions are just looking at money.
Yeah. Perfect. That's perfect.
I'm paid to consult 20 minutes, and therefore, whatever I do in 20 minutes, 20 minutes, and therefore I hasten the process. The lack of equipment is one. We need to look at resourcing those. So if we can even use exporting of health workers to be able to bring some equipment, fine. How do we generate it? Fundamentally, we cannot stop them from traveling. How do we then make their traveling beneficial? That is where our focus to be. But if you're going to take this military, what do you call a butchie stand? Yes, like a barrier, like Trump going, I'm going to build a wall. Forgetting that people can even Mexico drug cartels. What they do? They drink.
They drink tunnels.
So you are telling me that we are going to build a wall that will be able to stop the tunnel? It's not going to work. We know drug peddlers who even use they use what they call submarines. They use submarine. Basically small submarines to be able to traffic drugs. People are not even using drones to cross border drugs. Yes. So they come to the border, the other one, they control the guy, and the other person is there to take it. The maps are there to give out the geolocation of where someone is. So they paddle this in lands, even our policing service over there. What do they say? The drones are not those. So they control the drone, take the drug.
Are you there? Yes, got it. Okay, go.
So we need to think outside the box. I seriously do not believe that this kind of regimental mindset, which does not allow for fresh thinking, is going to help the problem. It's not going to work.
Because they're talking about 4,000 nurses and doctors who have left the country since 2021, and then they say the health minister said. Zimbabwe frowns at this heinous crime, which is also a grave violation of human rights. And he goes on to say it is he used a terminology. He announced a strict penalty. Okay, if one deliberately recruits and makes the country suffer, that is crime against humanity. And what about people whose rights are being trampled upon? So at one go we say hey this, and then we forget about the other one. But instead of us, if you say the rule of law, everything has to
apply, and then we always have to look at it holistically. We can't. You say I do not believe in this issue. Take one issue, stretch it all the way to the end without looking at the impact on other areas. Everything, and that is how we have failed, because we have. Look, actually, when we're constructing a road, we do not produce reports to talk about the impact and even measure the impact it will have on the whole economy. how will it impact on health delivery? How will it impact on education? How will it impact on agriculture? All we know is that how even will it impact on retaining wealth in the country? Because at the end of the day, the better roads we have, the less maintenance we do, and the less import
spare parts we
import. And the quicker we get to our work, the quicker people, the ambulances will be able to take people to
hospitals,
to hospitals, and therefore mortality rates will reduce. Education wise, we'll spend less time traveling. The teachers will feel more happier, spend less time in traffic trying to get to work, and other things. I get me. But we this thing that they are talking about in Zimbabwe, for instance, if you stop it, then what? Are you upgrading the hospitals? Are you expanding them? Are you paying them more? So how is it going to benefit them? How is it going to even benefit? Oh, you're going to benefit them because doctor to what they call it population ratio will reduce, and then what? Doctor to patient ratio reduce, and I go to hospital and the machines are not there. What?
The doctor talks to me, and so
the drugs are not there. What? Are you getting me? The doctors are not paid and therefore are not able to come to the work, are not able to come to work or dedicate themselves to what they are doing, and so on. So in my view, some of these things we need to look at them from outside the box, and we need fresh thinking into it. We cannot take the templates of 1950s, 1960s, even 1980s, not even 2020 to be solving problems today. We must all at each point in time be open to fresh thinking. I will ask, let's engage the doctors who have left. We have Zoom. Or let's register all of them. All doctors, nurses from Zimbabwe who have left, let's hear you. Why did you leave? What are you earning today? What could you have done to retain you? What are your problems? What prepared you? How did you even leave? How did you establish the contact? Do you think how do you contribute knowing that your brothers and sisters that you schooled with are still there? How do we train the more of you lights? Let's engage them. Actually, I believe that engagement process, they will voluntarily say, okay, as an association, Zimbabwe Nurses Association in the UK might agree that every month they will contribute £20 out of their money towards development of the health sector in Zimbabwe.
And they'll be proud of doing that.
We always first want to take a militarized mindset stand. I don't know. I don't buy it. I really do not. It doesn't help. It will not help. It hasn't provided any solution. It will not. My friend who is a Zimbabwe nurse over here, I know a lot of Zimbabwe nurse. Smanga is a Zimbabwe nurse. I mean, she's been here for a long time. I mean, at the end of the day, she tells she wants to go back. She wants to go back and establish something, health delivery in Zimbabwe. She's come here. If Simanga was engaged, I do not think Simanga will stop or will refuse contributing a £20 a month if she knows. That is if
to go to
that the money she's contributing will go to serve the purpose of which she's paying it. That is not going to end up with dwarfs and snakes, like the way Nigerian will tell her that the snakes have swallowed money.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK 12:37 the time, the morning show. Now let's move on straight to Ghana as well. Now 1,000 Special Forces personnel have been dispatched to Boko in the Upper East region, where 3 immigration officers were shot at, one of whom died while trying to get food in front of a police station. Now, the presence of the Special Forces is intended to increase security while also assisting investigation into the killers who are still on the loose. The regional minister, Sevin Yakubu, made this known in an interview. Now, he said the RegSec, we are intensifying. Government is helping us by bringing in special forces to Boko, about 1,000 of them, both police and soldiers. He added that some are already at Boko campus and already being built to house these soldiers. Now, why I've been worried about this story is because of the issue that is going on in the Sahel region. Now, we have all these terrorist groups that are virtually in Mali, in Burkina Faso, and because we share a border with Burkina Faso, and we heard that some of them are trooping in because there was some intel that was saying that some might have even entered Ghana or something of the sort. We're not sure, whatever. So with this, I was asking myself, is it them who have entered that part of the country, and are we resilient enough to actually stop them?
Actually, the resilient aspect is political noise that we've all made, because the evidence has just been supplied by one parliamentarian, and I do not think we should rejoice over what we heard. It could be them, it could not be them. The military and our security forces should be telling us. But you see, Archie, I'm disappointed to the extent that I think our security apparatus have only been trained to be good in helping manipulate elections, helping beat our own people, and helping show bravado when it comes to politics. As we speak, Archie, according to Ningo Prampram MP, the military high command has informed Parliament that they are not able to protect people in Boku. They are afraid to enter Boku.
Why?
The conflict that is about happening in Boku, a parliamentary committee, defense, led by Canada, Japan, Zenato and others, were supposed to fly there and be able to have negotiations with the feuding parties. They requested for protection from the military high command. They were supposed to fly to Tamale and then drive to Boku, have engagement at it. According to what they call it, Sam George, the military wrote back and informed Parliament that they are not able, they are not capable, and they are not in a position to protect parliamentarians when they get to Boku. Actually, those are let's call them class A citizens.
Yeah.
For lack of better, tag or expression, let's call them class A citizens. Because, they are MPs, they are honorable men.
Yeah.
Actually, if they cannot provide the military today, Ghana military are telling us that they cannot provide security. They cannot guarantee the safety of our MPs when they go to Boku to do official job. They cannot provide military and tell us that, look, we can provide security for you to go and come out safe. Then we are in trouble. Do you think we can confront Boko Haram? Do you think we can confront them?
No way.
Okay, so we're sitting on a ticking time bomb.
And we are not looking at the impact of what is happening with the Boko Haram in Nigeria. That's a typical example, because the farming communities cannot actually go farming again, because you'll be kidnapped.
And the other news I heard yesterday that was even annoying. Well, this issue of French saying that they want to work with Ghana, Benin, Burkina for security in that area. And I asked myself, is it not the French that were involved in Mali?
Yes.
Niger and all those Chad.
And Burkina Faso.
What has come of them? Are you getting me? But you see, we are Togo, Ghana, Benin, and the security act. Nonsense. Archie, nonsense. At the end of the day, you have been a permanent resident, a permanent military force, a permanent security provider for those areas. To what extent did you succeed in securing those sub-regions? For us to hear you were providing medical help to Boko Haram in Nigeria forest, and I still believe that you are part and parcel of those who found Boko Haram. Because if it has been declared as a terrorist group, Archie, tell me, if someone is declared as a terrorist group and I'm seen working with them, who am I?
You're an affiliate, of course.
Okay, so if Boko Haram was declared as a terrorist group and an NGO from France is seen providing medical assistance to them, who are they?
They are affiliates of the terrorist group.
My case finished. Case
guilty by association.
I'm done.
Interesting. Yeah, because because if you look at even now that we don't have any challenges of that sort, we don't have enough food stuff to fend for ourselves. Like talk like something like that will happen, and those communities are ravaged and stuff like that.
Actually, we do have a problem. You see, the problem again comes to leadership and it comes to community. I do believe that we need to have a mindset that our leaders will have to be held accountable. Citizens must start actively engaging. They succeeded in using MPP, NDC, CPP, DPP, whatever nonsense to divide us. We must all know that the goal of our survival, the goal should be our survival, our progress, the children that we have, the children, and the kind of future we want, and come together and say that we want to build a better future for Africa today. How do we build a better Africa for future today? We've been doing the same thing for 60 years. We've not achieved any good results. Can we do something different? We cannot continue. Democracy, if you take Ghana, for instance, the Fourth Republic is in its 30th year or so from 1992 when we adopted it, over 30 years now. What benefit have we gotten? To what extent? Yes, admittedly, certain institutions are, can we do more? Can we do more? And the answer is yes. So if we do not come together and begin to think that way, actually, we just be creating chaos and people profit from the chaos, and then we have a divided society. The rich, they have and do not have, and then we see disproportionately we're growing poor and poorer.
Yeah. Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The 50 minutes to the top of the hour. Yeah, we bring the program to a close exactly at 1 o'clock. So if you want to join the conversation, feel free to do so. All right then. Now let me bring you one other story, and then we'll look at what has happened here in the UK, and then we will bring the program to a close. Now the Bank of Ghana has announced that charges that are not disclosed to a borrower in a loan agreement should be considered null and void.
PPI.
Yeah. Now, describing borrowers who may suffer such ordeal as victims, the Bank of Ghana also directed commercial banks and lenders to refund such monies to the borrowers.
The industrial PPI. Let's go set up one.
We'll be making money. Now you know already.
Yeah.
To give loans to for the banks, commercial banks to loan money, the interest rates are horrendous. That I mean, how much are you actually making? And so to bring such law into place, it's going to make the banks, first of all, not continue to, give monies out. But how can you go and take a loan without knowing the percentage? Can that
actually, the percentage alone does not form what. If you take a mortgage application, for instance, they tell you conclusion this, so this. I don't believe all those should be made known upfront. It is then that you make an informed decision. There was a credit agreement I was reviewing because what we're doing wanted to. So we engage the financial institution. They disclose. When they disclose, yes, we look at the figures. The conclusion I drew from this is not going to work, because you look at what you want to do. You look at how much the customer can pay and the device you want to give them. We're doing financing of devices. Device we want to give them, how much they want to take from that. Actually, it is not going to work that they are charging so much completion dates, initial dates. At some time they even want you to pay the interest in advance before. It doesn't work. Let's start disclosing what an agreement is to the borrower. Whichever facility we have, let's make sure that the person we are giving a facility to understand clearly that this is an agreement. You cannot be hiding small print from people anymore. And a lot of us do not read. And therefore, all we are interested in, I need 100,000 to do a project. All I'm interested in, okay, the 100,000 has been given me. As to how much I'm going to pay at the end of the tenor, sometimes I'm not interested. All I'm interested in is the money today, and that's it. And the banks must make it clear. Initial disclosure must be straightforward. That people must be unobligated, because they got the power. The financial institutions must have at the back of their minds that disclosing information to people must be a priority. You do not close business deals just because you want to wrap up your numbers and then the people begin. And I would say the microcredit, especially institutions, women who sell plantain by the street will go take probably 200, start doing their business. At the end of the day, they are just working to profit. I mean,
Yeah,
the company,
yeah.
because they continuously have to pay on a daily basis, probably 1 cedi, 2 cedi. They tell you they'll give you what they call 500 Ghana, and then you pay one cedis a day for this amount of time. What does that amount to in terms of percentage? If I'm going to pay 1 cedis a day because you give me 500, actually some percentage I give 100% and more.
Wow. And what profit is the person making on
what are you getting? The person would think, okay, yes, I'm making profit because at the end of the day they've given me 500. I'm making a profit of 20 Ghana, and I'm paying what do you call it, 1 cedi or 2 cedis to them. I'm not saying it's bad, but let the person understand. Let them understand that this is the arrangement. When they understand this arrangement, how much it's going to cost them, I mean, more, how much they end up paying, then they know. But I think this is a good PP industry that has just arrived.
Do you think that the banks in or the financial institution in Ghana has got a system where people, because here, assuming you take a loan and you're not being able to pay, it's either if whatever you use for surety can be taken, I mean, stuff like that. But back in Ghana, we see that people have gone to take a small loan, their houses and their cars and their everything, and so you ask yourself the question, now at the end of the day, when bad debts come in, what happens? Are people now made, I mean, poor from whatever? Are they what customers being protected?
Actually, there's not, okay, every loan that is taken in Ghana, most banks will have insurance component to it. And therefore you ask, why do they go for people houses and other things where they take them? Some of those insurances are owned by the same banks, and therefore they did not exercise those claims and those things. The other thing you look at Ghana, I mean, I'm looking at a subject matter that this morning I was having a discussion with some people on it, and we're looking at entrepreneurship. How do we activate the God potentials, in especially the young ones in Africa, as a catalyst to reducing unemployment, engineering growth, and then creating a lot of employment, and then creating wealth. Now, in this country, actually, if I graduate from university, the system understand I have no collateral. I can write a business proposal, I can go to a bank or government institutions which are ready to help me start up a business. The risk over there is the sustainability of the business, and that's for you have institutions that will be able to help you, and those agreements will help you even when they engage you. Have you spoken to this? Have you engaged in this and that? And they help you to be able to refine all this thing. You might not profit, you might not do, but at the end of the day, the burden does not come to you to disturb your very existence. In Ghana, even if I have the ability to turn 1 Ghana into 20 Ghana within the next month, the first question the bank manager is going to ask me was my collateral. What is my collateral? Where is it? They want to see collateral. They want to see a house. I'm a young graduate. I have an idea. Where do you expect me to get a house?
Where house from?
My daddy's house, my mommy's house. But you see, they're also looking at their risks. Their mandate is to protect creditors' monies. Their mandate as banks is to ensure that whatever money they've taken as deposit from the people is secured and protected. Is a Bank of Ghana ready to give underwriting or underwrite such risk for the banks to take as a way of opening up entrepreneurship in some of these African countries? So the banks are also torn. But you see, the mindset, Archie, the mindset of how we perceive risk. Probably I have to speak to Victor one of these days. Victor did a study in the risks associated with running a microcredit industry in Ghana, and that's what he did for his PhD. And the findings are very fantastic. The findings are very informs us a lot about what can be done, what the responsibility of the government if we really want to transform that country, especially using the microcredit as a template. Our banks today, I call them glorified susu collectors. I've always said they are glorified susu collectors, and that's why when this one thing I was happy about when this haircut or this income, what the impact is what's going to have on the banks. I'm not happy about the way it's implemented, but it sends signals to the bank that you cannot only depend. I've thought
the depositors' money to go and buy treasury bills and stuff like that. Bonds.
I was even thinking, should we shake a bit of the credit? The treasury bill industry a little bit, and then see how many of the banks will survive. Because innovation, thinking of products, as someone said, a bad. The same thing applies to insurance industry in Ghana. The same thing applies to insurance industry in Ghana. As we speak now, it's only recently that Holland. They have agreed through an enterprise have come on board as because they say a policy that we've been working on for 2 years now, which is equipment insurance to approve it because they didn't have it in the whole system. They tell you the normal house insurance. I said no, the normal house insurance does not cover equipment. Actually, if we still in this studio and someone comes to damage our things, it's damage. It's not the building that. Don't tell me that the same benefits you apply to that is different. That's why even in this country tell you content insurance. You have bird insurance or content insurance. So our people are just looking at how do we make money. They are not thinking. They are quite okay with the way it's set up that they take your deposit, they invest in treasury bills, they make a chunk of the money, they trade the money. Some people put the money on call. So every midnight the money is dropped and they reinvest it. They engineer the system, make a lot of money, and then they pay you something at the end of the month. That's what they're interested in. So actually, for me, on this issue, I'm happy with this PPI angle.
Ghana PPI
is so good.
Well,
let them take the responsibility, and now we're going to send some banks, and they're going to collapse. Some of the banks are going because they do not have it. They do not have the money to go and be paying, and I have to even start looking. All my friends, have you taken a loan and other? We're going to go after them. Anything that was not disclosed, we have to go.
The small print. Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK. 4 minutes to the top of the hour. We're going to be running up pretty soon. But let's do one story, one geopolitics, one. French President Emmanuel Macron has urged his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping to use his influence to help stop Russia war in Ukraine. I mean, at the beginning of the war, we had Macron doing a lot to stop that war. He did a lot. I remember he went to Moscow several times. Okay, now he's taken one step. Now we're looking at what has happened with China and U.S. relationship. We're looking at China and Russia relationship now. Okay. And now looking at Macron and with everything that has gone on, and now with the spy balloons things that went on, we should have had the top diplomat of the U.S. visiting China, but because of that, they pulled that out. I know that it was because of pressure back home, because the Republicans were making so much noise that they needed to do something. They did that. Okay, now China sees the West as hostile. Okay, but now we have Macron, who is part of the West as well, going there to say that, you know what, use your good relationship with this to now stop the war, which you know that they can also benefit from it because they are buying cheap fuel from them.
Actually, you see, at the end of the day, when this war started, in fact, in my view, the West did not act in a way, it did not show a proper way of stopping the war. I mean, in my view, they might disagree with me, but that's what I'm entitled to. I think the position that the West took was to bully Russia into submission. And that's the same stance they are on today. That's why anyone who raised the issue in favor of Russia, the default position is to rubbish it, to pretend that they are stupid. They do not say anything that makes sense. You made mention of the fact that Russia-China relationship. Actually, that is not the only thing. The West know that Putin was due to go for BRICS summit. And that's why they went and brought those charges against him, the international court of
goes out, they were arresting him.
And the South Africans say, no, we're not arresting our brother. Not only that, the Shiites and the Sunni Muslim have seen the need that there's no sense in we being the Middle East and be fighting ourselves. So as we speak, a dinner table is being prepared between between what do you call it, Iran and Saudi Arabia. In fact, they have signed a peace agreement.
Really?
And guess what? Who brokered that deal? China. It wasn't the US. China was the one who brought Iran and Saudi Arabia together to sign a peace accord. Saudi Arabia and Iran are both now interested in joining the BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China. But those are the names. China and South Africa.
Yeah.
And more countries are going to join. Actually, the question I asked Macron, if it's sincere, if it's really sincere, what did he say when China put on the table that I have a peace plan, I have a path to sustainable peace in that region? US rubbish what he was saying, because China has come out with a map.
Yeah.
That look, I believe this is a roadmap. Russia say yes, we're interested in talking on that roadmap. What did the West say? They're not interested. They've impressed on what do you call it, the Kiev authority not to accept it. That the precondition for negotiation is that you must withdraw to pre-Crimea days. Russia also then we must also go back to pre-2014 when the so-called revolutionaries went and toppled an elected president perceived to have close relationship with Russia. Are you getting me? The West is even not stopping there. As of yesterday, is it Finland or which country?
Yeah.
Or Sweden?
Finland.
Is it Sweden, Finland?
Finland.
Okay, has joined NATO. Yeah. What are we doing? The same thing that brought the Ukraine war, we are again doing it in our neighbors. Actually, all they are doing is trying to position themselves for a third world war. That one, everybody knows. You will be stupid if that is not what you're thinking. Are you getting me? Why would they be sending ammunition? What they call nuclear bombers, B-52 and others? Why are they sending them closer? If they're not interested. So Macron, I welcome what you're saying. But the responsibility should not be placed at the doorstep of China. I do not think so. I think there must be an open dialogue. As we speak, Russia is a president of the Security Council.
It's interesting that you went, and I think they need to do something. It's useless.
Yeah.
Wow. Listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. I think we're going to be wrapping up because our time is fast spent. 2 minutes past 1 is the time now. Well, we know that the Easter festivities is kicking off. People are going to be traveling. We know that those of you who want to use trains here in the UK, remember Victoria train station is not going to be functioning. It's going to be shut, and then Euston is going to be shut as well. So if you want to travel via any other routes, you can definitely do that. But Frank, before we go,
Archie, we wish everybody what a reflective Easter. I wouldn't call it happy Easter. I wouldn't call it anything. I say it's a time we reflect and be able to know what are we celebrating this holiday, what is it all about, and then be able to know if we are called upon to justify the holiday. I've taken 4 days off. If I'm called upon,
what did you do? How did you benefit?
Or why am I taking it? The reason for the season should be the prime aim. So what we do, let's use it as a way of getting back to the main reason for the season.
Okay, listeners, that has Mr. Frank Davis for you. Okay, so this is where we bring the program to a close. As I did say, I think Bossman is sent some messages through. Let's see whether we've gotten it. Just bear with me whilst I try to see whether we can. Okay, no, not yet. But he said the Faith Talk will be coming your way as well. But whatever you do, let reflection be on the top of your agenda, the reason for the season. Well, he says, Judah's busiest day, word fulfilled, Jacob's king. All right, then, it's quite an interesting one. Reflect on that. All right, let's enjoy this song from Ash. It says, no woman, no cry. But the women were crying when Jesus was being crucified. What about you? Enjoy it, and we'll see you all on Tuesday. Bye-bye for now.